GMS in the Spirit, the man of Jacob, Dallas Camp. Give all praise and honor to the Most High and His Son, Yahweh Yahushua. Double honors to the elders and honors to all you brothers out there that are speaking up for the truth. And today, we're basically going, it's not really an open forum, but it's going to be kind of a look to the past as far as legislation and wicked practices and laws that Esau sets up. Just a quick look to the past, and then which would be kind of like, I guess, a prelude or some insight as to what is coming in the future that's concerning, you know, brothers in the truth, all right, concerning Israel. So what we're going to look into first is basically what happened with Nero Caesar back during the time of Rome. And basically it's this article going into how he burnt down Rome. You know, most of you know history, you know about Caesar. He set up Rome to be burnt down. And then when basically everybody that came to him, because they knew he burned it down, or they thought he burnt it down, he put blame on the Christians, which we all know the Christians, according to Acts, I believe it's 11:26, the Christians were Israelites. The Christians were disciples who were first called Christians in Antioch. So we know that that's talking about the Israelites. So basically, without further ado, so I don't give away the whole article, first let's read Ecclesiastes 3:15, and then let's jump to this article. So whoever, Ecclesiastes 3:15.
Dash, you got it?
Get there?
Oh, I got it already, yeah. Ecclesiastes 2:15.
3:15.
Oh,
He got it?
Yeah, he got it.
Yeah. That which hath been is now, and that which is to be hath already been, and the Most High requireth that which is past.
Right. That which has been is now, and that which is that. Read it again. I'm sorry. I got me butchering the scripture.
All right, Ecclesiastes 3:15. That which hath been is now.
That which has been is now. Go ahead.
And that which is to be hath already been.
That which is to be hath already been. And there's. Go ahead.
And the Most High requireth that which is past.
All right. The Most High requireth that which is past. Now we usually use that scripture to point towards Esau, the so-called white man, because he put us in slavery. Therefore, we're going to put him in slavery. But it's not just talking about that. All right, because if you know anything about history, is that it repeats itself. First off, because reincarnation is in the Bible, and the same spirits keep coming back over and over throughout history, which that's another subject. But them same people or them same spirits that have been coming back through generation to generation, guess what? They do the same thing each time they come back in a certain time in history. Now we're looking back at ancient Rome. Guess what? We're living in modern day Rome right now. So them same spirits that were ruling and creating havoc and putting hell on Israel back then, guess they're going to be doing the same thing now. So we're going to take a look back at this guy, Nero, here in this article, and see the havoc and hell that he put on Israel. All right, which he's one among many of these damn wicked Romans who put hell on Israel. But we're going to take a look and see what he did, and then to show you how that is going to lead up to what's possibly coming in the future.
So, quick precept.
Yeah.
Ecclesiastes 1:9. The thing that hath been, it is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done. And there is no new thing under the sun.
So there's no new thing under the sun. Everything is repeated itself. History repeats itself. All right. So you see something come up, and you think, "Oh man, that's crazy. I never heard something like that before." Guess what? It's happened at some point in history before. But people in general don't know much about history at all. Therefore, they're in the dark about it. All right. That's why they're always caught by surprise when certain things come to pass as far as history goes. Or certain laws and legislations that come to pass, but in all actuality, things like that have happened before. All right, like I said, we're living in modern day Rome, which is a reincarnation of ancient Rome, and it's the same system set up now that was set up back then. So go ahead and read the title, and then just read the whole.
Yeah, this is eyewitnesstohistory.com.
Which is a pretty good history website, by the way. Eyewitness to History, if you brothers want to check it out.
The name of the article is Nero Persecutes the Christians, 64 AD. A generation after the death of Christ, Christianity had reached Rome in the form of an obscure offshoot of Judaism, popular among the city's poor and destitute. Members of this religious sect spoke of the coming of a new kingdom and a new king. These views provoked suspicion among the Jewish authorities, who rejected the group and fear among the Roman authorities, who perceived these sentiments as a threat to the empire.
Right, because when you read the scriptures, you had the Pharisees, the wicked Pharisees among Israel. They actually said, if we believe on Yahweh Shai, who they're referring to, all right, if we believe on Yahweh Shai, then the Romans will come away and take away our place and our nation. So the wicked Pharisees and the Romans knew that this man Yahweh Shai was a threat. All right, they knew about him. This is more proof that he actually existed in history. Go ahead.
In the summer of 64, Rome suffered a terrible fire that burned for 6 days and 7 nights, consuming almost 3/4 of the city. The people accused the Emperor Nero for the devastation, claiming he set the fire for his own amusement. In order to deflect these accusations and placate the people, Nero laid blame for the fire on the Christians.
Right. He set Rome ablaze basically, and to get away from blame and to get away from getting into hot water, he laid the charge on Rome burning down on Christians, which were Israelites. Go ahead.
The emperor ordered the arrest of a few members of the sect who, under torture, accused others until the entire Christian populace was implicated and became fair game for retribution.
Hey, that's why the scriptures say that, and I believe it's in Matthew, that men shall deliver you up, I believe betray or deliver you up to be cast into prison. Because back then, you had certain jakes that were getting caught and getting tortured by Nero, and they're the Romans, and they basically ratted out and snitched out the other Christians and gave them up until pretty much everybody, or everybody that they knew of that were Christians were rounded up. All right, so go ahead.
As many of the religious sect that could be found were rounded up and put to death in the most horrific manner for the amusement of the citizens of Rome.
Which was in the arena with the gladiators. They put them in there and they have them going against animals, all right? Have them going against other gladiators, professional gladiators, 1, 2, 3 at a time. Have them go. You've seen the movie Gladiator. If you haven't seen that, you've seen Spartacus. If you haven't seen that, you've seen what's my movie? Troy, which that has to do with Greece, all right? Well, you seen how barbaric the people were back then, especially in the movie, both them series, the movie Gladiator and the series Spartacus. You see how brutal those gladiators were, all right? In the movie Gladiator, they had one where they had him going against an actual trained gladiator, and then at one point they had tigers coming up out of the pit of the arena. So you see how unfair the Romans getting. They did it all for the amusement of the people. Because what Esau will do is he'll demonize you, or he'll demonize a certain group or number of people, and then he'll play to the hearts and minds of the general population of that country. Thus he'll get everybody to turn on that certain group of people. So whenever they get you caught, all right, or they get you in a bad way, pretty much everybody and their damn auntie wants to see you die. That's why when you saw, like for example, there's in the series in Spartacus Vengeance, which is one of my favorite series, you had it to where this is basically set during the time where the gladiators, or they broke out of one of the house of Batiatus. They broke out and then they were on a run basically, and then there's this one episode, I believe it's episode 5, where 3 of them got caught. 3 of the top guys got caught. Now these were once gladiators, all of Rome and everybody that went to go to the arena, they marveled at them. They cheered for them, this and that and the other. But now when they caught them and they got demonized because they basically broke out of being enslaved under the damn Romans, now the crowd was throwing stuff at them, booing them, wanting to see them die, wanting to see them get their heads cut off. So it's nothing for Esau to basically demonize you and make you look bad. All right? Go ahead, any more on that?
The ghastly way in which the victims were put to death aroused sympathy among many Romans, although most felt their execution was justified.
Right. Hey, so look, that shows you that this world is not going to be with, when Esau really makes his move in demonizing and coming after the Israelites, the brothers in the camps, the world ain't going to feel bad for you. it says in the book of 2nd Ezra, I believe it's the 5th chapter, around the 10th verse or so, it says that incredulity or unbelief shall increase. All right? So it ain't gonna be nobody, it's not, in fact, can somebody get this up here, 2nd Ezra 5 and about 10, you can start at 9, just to be sure.
It's 5 and 9.
If I can say something about that.
Yeah,
real
come.
quick. The demonizing now that's used isn't necessarily lions in a cage and things like that. What he does now is a little more subtle, a little more cunning. He, when you have someone, for example, like a Michael Jackson or somebody like that, they turn the whole world against them by creating some lie or some twisted situation. And now all of a sudden, somebody that you really like or really, really wanted to root for, now all of a sudden, Esau turns him into a villain.
Yeah.
By just throwing some random situation out there. All of a sudden now he's a rapist. Now, of course, Michael Jackson, devil anyway, but just for example,
Yeah, right.
That's how he's using his demonizing now.
Yeah, he'll do it real slick.
Mm-hmm.
The next thing you know, you're the worst person since Hitler. You're worse than Hitler. But 2 weeks ago, you were the most popular person on earth. You were the nicest person on. Everybody had nothing but good to say about
It
you.
was all good just a week
fainted
ago.
at the president.
Yeah, and like he said, it was all good just a week ago. Now you're a villain, Don't you read
Tiger
that?
Woods.
Yeah, him too. Tiger Woods,
It was on Second Ezra chapter 5,
verses 10 and 11.
verses 10 and 11. And shall be sought of many, and yet
Start
not.
at 9. I'm sorry.
Alright. 2nd Ezra chapter 5, verse 9. And salt waters shall be found in the sweet,
Right.
and our friends shall destroy one another.
Wait a minute. It said all friends shall destroy one another. That goes back into Matthew. It says men shall betray one another. The love of many shall wax cold. And they showed that right there in that article where you had certain Christians who got caught. Right. I mean, it's not out of this world to believe that some of them knew each other and were friends. Guess what? When they got threatened with torture, they ratted out their buddies, the other Christians, and then they got caught. So it says the friends shall betray one another, destroy one another. Go ahead.
Then shall wit hide itself,
Wit or wisdom. Go ahead.
and understanding withdraw itself into his secret chamber,
Mm-hmm.
and shall be sought of many, and yet not be found. Then shall unrighteousness and incontinency
Yeah.
be multiplied upon the earth.
Right. Unrighteousness and incontinency shall be multiplied upon the earth. So people aren't going to be looking to defend or come to the aid of anybody who speaks righteousness at that time. Now, but
Yes,
even more so at that time.
Let me say this, that's that family of hearing the word too, right?
Yep. Because we ain't gonna be out there on the highways and the byways preaching at that time. Because when that time comes around, it's gonna be too much hell going on out on the streets for us to be out there. All right. So the Spirit's gonna have it to where the prophets are gonna be out there on the highways and the byways. All right. So read that again. 10.
Verse 10. And shall be sought of many, and yet not be found.
Mm-hmm.
Then shall unrighteousness and incontinency be multiplied upon earth.
Right, because you're gonna have those that heard what we were saying and didn't consider, and then when we're not out there, they're gonna be like, damn, because they're gonna start catching hell. At the same time, yep, and they're gonna be looking for us. And at the same time, much of the world that is still going on, and most of the countries and most of the states and cities where life will so-called be moving like clockwork, all right? People aren't going to be concerned with the truth, and people aren't going to give two shits about anybody that's in the truth, all right? So you're not going to have anybody in the world that's going to come to your aid,
Right.
all right? Go ahead.
Verse 11. One land also shall ask another, and say, Is righteousness that maketh a man righteous gone through thee? And it shall say, No.
Right, because at that point, pretty much the word would have been and gone out, the elect would have been and heard the word and got sealed, and then that time of Jacob's trouble will have come in. All right. So, point being, when Esau starts to make his move and to set up his legislation and to cause some kind of false flag attack, basically to demonize the Israelites and to come after. Guess what? We are going to be on our own. And it's nothing new, because it's happened before. Guess what? Hitler, he burnt down his own German parliament, or the Reichstag,
Right.
and then he blamed it on the Jews,
The so-called Jews.
so-called Jews.
Yeah.
In which we got this article right here going into a possible scenario which Obama and his administration have set up. All right? Hitler set that up basically so he could really get up into the power seat in Germany back then. And I believe when he burnt it down, I believe it was 1933 if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember the exact year. But that's when he got into power.
If I can say this,
Go ahead.
it's the same thing over and over, like we read in Ecclesiastes. It's the same
Yep.
exact thing. If you look at something like 9/11, it's the same exact thing.
Right.
What Hitler did was he used the Reichstag event to formulate his new world order type of
Right.
idea.
Right.
Now all of a sudden you got what they call the Gestapo, and they can just kick your door in and take you to jail.
Yeah, yeah.
It's the same exact thing as going on now with
Yep.
the Patriot Act. And
Yep.
all these things that have pretty much just spawned from the Patriot Act.
Yeah.
It's just that one false flag event, and they just use that as a catalyst, and now we're just taking over.
Yep.
It's the same exact thing all over.
Right.
Scripture for you, bro.
Come.
1 Ezra 5:2. But iniquity shall be increased above that which now thou seest, or that thou hast heard long ago.
Iniquity is going to increase. More, it's been increasing ever since this place got set up in the power. It's been increasing more and more ever since the turn of the century came about. And guess what? It's going to increase more until martial law comes in. And it's going to keep increasing. It's not going to stop until this place finally gets destroyed.
That's right.
All right?
I got another verse to that.
Come.
And the land that thou seest now to have root, shalt thou see waste suddenly.
Because this place is going to go down suddenly. Like it said in Revelation 18, in 1 hour, so great riches will come to naught.
Yeah.
All right? But guess what? Before all that happens, there's going to be hell here on the streets of America.
Could you read that one more time, brother? Just one more time?
For 1 Ezra 5:2 and
The scripture you just read a second ago.
verse 3. 1 Ezra 5:3. And the land that thou seest now to have root.
And that's Jake. Jake think they got a part in this thing. Jake think they're American. They
Yep.
think, you know what I'm saying? They think they within this system. Not knowing that they were considered 3/5 of a human being at one point in time. You never had the same rights as a so-called American.
Still consider that now.
Exactly. You never did. That's why you're getting gunned down in the streets.
Yeah, walking your dog.
Keep reading that.
And the land that thou seest now to have root, shalt thou see waste suddenly.
Exactly. In this place that you think that I'm such an American. Who is that? Chris Paul. It's a commercial with the USA basketball team.
Oh, yeah,
He's got his hand, holding his hand on his heart. They was feeding Chris Paul. They was feeding your people to alligators. They was feeding your babies to alligators.
Yeah.
But yet you standing up there with your just so dedicated.
And finna hoop your ass off.
For what?
Yeah, you got Mayweather. I remember this was one. I believe it was a 24/7 episode. He said, "This is America. We built on winning." No, America got built on beating your ass.
I'm telling you.
Like, well, yeah, they were winning, but you weren't involved in them winning. You weren't on their winning side.
You ain't even involved in the winning now.
Oh
Shit,
shit.
he just made all that money for their asses and gotta go to jail next month.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was
so-
money at Jake's expense, man.
Yeah.
Yep. So when the time comes, the history shows that Edom has always been against Jacob.
Mm-hmm.
Esau has always been against Israel.
Mm-hmm.
And it hasn't stopped, it's not gonna stop. It's not gonna stop until the kingdom.
That's right.
I mean, shit, they're still gonna be against us in the kingdom, we just gonna have them in slavery. It's really not gonna stop until they get exterminated.
That's right.
Because the scriptures say we won't take the kingdom. They don't say they're gonna hand it to us. Alright?
That's right.
So somebody, I want, before I read this, you know, a little bit of the article, I want somebody to read, I want to read Psalms 94. I'm sorry, yeah, Psalm 94 and 20. And we'll read some of that, and then we'll read Isaiah 10 and then Psalms 10.
Psalm. You said Psalm 94 and 20?
20 and 21.
Psalm 94 and 20. Shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which frameth mischief by law?
He's asking a question. Shall the throne of iniquity, who's the throne of iniquity? Esau, the wicked, Edom, have fellowship with thee?
No,
Speaking to Israel, or the righteous,
hell
who frameth mischief by a law? Like he just said, hell no. What does it mean they frame mischief by a law? They'll set up a law or legislation, like the elder Tazan Dakba was getting into this week at camp, or last Saturday.
no.
They'll see our people, Israel, succeeding, capitalizing on a certain situation, be able to make money and make a good living, and really do good. Guess what? Esau doesn't like that, so he will make whatever they're doing illegal,
Right.
but then turn around and make it so-called legal in his system, but capitalize it so he can get money off of it. All right, like prohibition, going back to prohibition.
And also the
Gambling,
lottery.
the lottery.
What are you talking about?
Let's talk about all that, cause you can do all that now.
He can do all that.
He can do all that now and make tons of money off of it. But you could get arrested for gambling in most of the country. Meanwhile, he's got casinos set up in a lot of different places. You can't just go gambling, all right? You can't just go doing anything that he deems illegal, but then he's such a hypocrite that he can do whatever the hell he wants to make
Like
money
the
off.
brother said about prostitution. It's hella wrong for Jake to it's wrong, period. But Jake, I mean, they throwing him in jail left and right. But then you got the cracker out there doing it. He's just because he's in one certain place on the land,
Right,
it's
right.
okay for him to do. I
Right.
want to say it's somewhere in Nevada,
Yeah,
somewhere
maybe.
like that. He's down there making a killing.
Yeah.
Now, how can it be so illegal everywhere else, but it's just perfectly fine for for only Esau to be doing it right there? Because you know he's the only one
Mhm.
that's doing it.
Like I say, it's in Vegas. They have, like, I've been to Vegas a couple times for basketball. They have escort out there handing out just cards for on every corner for call girls. And you can literally call a woman to your hotel, man, and there's no issue. You tell a guy that's guarding the elevators, you know, she's with me, or they just out there freely handing out magazines, but magazines this thick full of call girls and for prostitution, man. And there's nobody prosecuting for that or getting in trouble for that.
Yep. So he sets up the legislation not only to benefit for himself, but to really come down on Jake, because that's the real thing he wants to do. He really wants to come against Israel. All right. That's why we're reading this article. We read that last article. We're reading these scriptures because he really wants to set up this whole new world order to further to put us back in slavery, and then his goal is to totally do away with us as a nation. But we all know, according to the scriptures, that's not going to happen.
That's
Yeah, right?
I have a precept also.
Hold on.
Isaiah 10.
Oh, we're gonna get to that. You read verse 21.
Now, but Psalms 94 and 21, they gather themselves together against the soul of the righteous.
So who's the soul of the righteous represent? Israel. They gather themselves together. All right, meaning they consult and get together and get in these think tanks and set up all these laws and legislations and everything to further and further enslave our people.
That's right.
All right.
If I could say this real quick, with all these things that you're seeing in the news, you're constantly seeing Jake getting gunned down
Yeah.
for what appears to be no reason.
Yep.
We all know nobody's innocent. You know, we all know that.
Right.
But it just you looking at the news and that's all they're pushing. That's all they're pushing. And you can just it's almost like that there's been an order that's been put out to the police officers.
Kill niggas.
Kill these, you know what I'm saying? Kill niggas, kill niggas.
Yeah.
Because they gotta get these race riots going some kind of way.
Yeah.
Because Jake is just hella sleep out there.
Yes.
And they won't get mad. Jake will not get mad.
It's like when you mention, I'll bring up Trayvon again, but he got killed. Obviously, that George Zimmerman, clown wanted to go kill a nigga that night, all right? But what was it that came about, the stand your ground law?
Yeah, stand your ground law.
Basically,
down,
if you feel threatened by anybody or whoever, then you can shoot and use deadly force and kill somebody who, if you just feel threatened.
threatened, yeah. It's out here in Texas too.
Yep, here in Texas. And that came up during that whole conflict.
Which it's just self-defense. It's nothing new,
Self-defense.
it's just self-defense.
True.
But the stand your ground law is basically giving Esau the right to just kill niggas.
Yeah.
Because how can it be proved that he wasn't standing his ground?
Right.
Trayvon Martin can't say he wasn't. And if anything, if Trayvon Martin can use the stand your ground law.
Yeah.
So really, it's just, as long as Esau go ahead and kill you, he can go ahead and throw in that stand your ground law. Oh, you shot at Jake? Oh, it's cool.
Yeah.
Don't trip on it. We'll get you out of there.
Do a
That's
6-week vacation with pay.
Yeah.
Let me add this to what the brother was saying. Also, right after that case, the Trayvon Martin case, it was a bunch of other little cases that came out where you had some Jakes that was being portrayed in the news as, okay, he's retaliating from this situation, so now we gotta focus on this. Esau's focused on this shit, so now they can find more of a reason to attack Jake.
Which is them
For
trying
no
to
apparent
fuel the race wars.
Mhm.
They're trying to get it to set up these race wars, which are right around the corner.
They're trying to provoke. They're trying to provoke Jake to just be angry and go out there and do crazy shit so that they can fill up these concentration camps. It's easier that way.
They want more Detroit 300s and what's this Black Panther parties. They want more of that out there.
Mhm. So it's easier for them to go ahead and to kill a guy that's walking his dog at night.
Yeah.
It's easy.
Yep.
And now nobody even questions it. The article
Right.
comes out and it's like, oh well, obviously if they shot him, it had to be for a good reason.
Right.
That's how they think. Can I get one scripture real quick? Zechariah, give me 11:5.
No, yeah.
Cause he's out walking his dogs. They killed him. It's really that simple. Why would he have? It's cool. Why would he have a gun on him? And then you read the story, and he was talking to his wife on the phone, and in his other hand he's holding the leash to walk the dog. But then if you let Esau tell the story, in which they did, the cracker woman comes on the video and says I guess he just opened fire on the police officers, so they just had to kill him.
Like he just decided to open fire.
Now you've seen these stories so many times that you know what happened. They just killed the dude. They killed him and they planted a gun over there.
Yep.
And it's just that simple. It's really just that simple. Go ahead with that scripture.
Alright, Zechariah 11:5, whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty.
And holds themselves not guilty. Of course they're gonna get off. And you're looking at the Trayvon Martin situation. What's his name? Zimmerman.
Georgia.
It's like, man, they're gonna let that dude go. They're gonna let him go.
Yeah.
There's a situation in Houston where the cop clearly, it's just the man is laying down his hand, he's laying flat on his face, not moving. The cracker cop comes over there, stomps on his head twice, and you know what I mean? Now, why would you do that? Why would you? There's no reason for you to do that. They took him, they charged him, he goes to trial, but he's not guilty.
Yeah, that Edomite, that cracker who kicked
Exactly.
the nigga woman.
It's
who was
on
pregnant
tape.
and
It's
stuff.
on tape. It's on tape. How can it be not guilty? But read that again, brother.
Whose possessors slay them.
Who is the possessor?
Be honest.
Who's the possessor? Esau, the devil, the cracker. Go ahead.
And hold themselves not guilty.
And he's holding himself not guilty in all these cases. Why would he convict himself of killing somebody who he deemed as 3/5 of a human being anyway? So they doing all this stuff and they trying to push this martial law order. They gotta get you niggas in these concentration camps. It's an order. It's an order from the top. We gotta start filling these concentration camps, man. Y'all gotta Hey, y'all gotta start killing these niggas, man.
Yep.
Don't worry about it. You ain't gonna go to jail. Katrina's a good example of that.
Prime.
Go ahead and read that. Yeah, Micah.
Oh, so Book of Mormon is. Did you want to read?
No, you can go ahead.
Micah chapter 2, verse 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds when the morning is light.
Mm-hmm.
They practice it because it is in the power of their hands.
Yeah, it's in the power of their hands to devise iniquity and practice mischief. So guess what? Who is all that going to be targeted towards? It's going to be targeted towards Israel. That's what it said back in Psalms 94 and 21. It said that they set themselves together against the soul of the righteous. So they don't just sit back and practice wickedness for no reason. They actually have an agenda. And that is, according to Psalms 83, to remove Israel from being a remembrance on the earth. All right? So now, let's read, I guess the first, about 3 or 2 or 3.
Starting at DC right there.
Yeah, just read the title and then read that, and then we're going to read Isaiah 10 and Psalm 10.
Right, I'm going to read the title. Reichstag event. DHS whistleblower says communists will stage riots as justification for martial law.
Mm-hmm.
Washington, D.C. The Obama agents through the DHS, Department of Homeland Security, and other associated colluders are plotting a major Reichstag event to generate racial riots and produce the justification for martial law.
So, yeah, it said racial riot. So it's going to definitely be some big major event where a bunch of you niggas are going to end up getting got. And then it's going to, if this happens, it's going to finally be, something's going to finally happen to where it's going to be the nail in the coffin where you niggas going to finally wake up. Alright, it's going to be the straw that broke the camel's back.
It's going to be one of these same old, probably one of these same old things, this Trayvon Martin type of thing. Innocent Jake gets killed. So, you know, they plan on March, but you know how Esau do. He just throws some agents in the little gathering.
Provocateurs.
Exactly. Shooting guns in the air or something like that. And there you go.
It's going to be some die-hard with a vengeance shit. You're going to have a cracker with a I hate nigger sign shoot up the march. Or some shit like that, you know? Go ahead.
Delaying the November 12, 2000 elections, possibly indefinitely, which would allow
Obama to stay in office.
a DHS whistleblower informed the Canada Free Press on Tuesday. Let me keep reading this next one.
Yeah.
The Reichstag event would take the form of a staged assassination attempt against Barack Obama, carefully choreographed.
We know how these niggas are about Obama. And personally, I don't personally see Obama leaving office. I mean, if it happens, it happens, but the way he's setting this country up, and the way as hard as he's going right now, and as dumb as these so-called presidential candidates look right now, I do not see him giving up the power seat. That's something more than likely is going to happen, and he's going to stay in the office. And this very well may be it. Go ahead.
Carefully choreographed and manufactured by Obama operatives. It would subsequently be blamed on white supremacists and used to enrage the black community to rioting and looting, the DHS source warned. The Obama administration would then use the violence and chaos they created as a justification for imposition of martial law in major urban cities in America.
Wait, the violence they created, what is that? Order out of chaos. Order out of chaos. Problem, reaction, solution.
Yep.
They created the problem, they got the needed reaction, and then they come with the solution. What is the solution? Martial law. And guess what? They're going to use that martial law to target 2/3 of our people, and they're going to come get you, and they are going to come after your ass. All right? And there's not going to be no mercy shown when they show their horns. All right? Any more on that? On that last paragraph? All right, so that's pretty much it on that article. Basically showing you, look, man, there's something in the works. All right, everything that's going on in this country and all in the world, the final chess pieces are getting set for them to finally try to make their move to get the New World Order. Which they're gonna get a little piece of it, and then guess what? They're gonna get a small little taste of it, and then the Most High is gonna come totally put a foot up their ass, all right?
Right.
So, quick one.
Revelations 12:12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down up unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time.
And that's when he's going to come with that great wrath. He's setting all the legislation pieces in order right now. All right? He's setting, when you play chess, you set all your pieces in order. You take down you go for the pawns. You know, you might go for a bishop or a rook or a castle. Guess what? The ultimate checkmate is to get that queen. The queen is a woman, right? Isn't Israel likened unto a woman according to Jeremiah? So they're setting up all of their chess pieces to finally try to get that checkmate. Now they're not going to get it, but they're going to come damn close. All right, they're gonna get a check. But guess what? If you play chess, the check ain't the end of the game. All right, that chess is gonna turn on their ass. That check is gonna turn on their ass, and then we're gonna have them in a checkmate. All right, and then after 1,000 years, we'll topple that damn queen over. They'll topple that bitch over.
I got another one for you.
Come on, go ahead.
It said Psalm 7:13. He hath also prepared for him the instruments of death.
Mm-hmm.
He ordaineth his arrows against the prosecutors.
Because the thermonuclear destruction via ICBM missiles is going to be what destroys this place. The very weapon which the Most High gave him the Spirit to build is going to be the same weapon that takes him down. That's going to be the final nail in the coffin for America and the power structure of Edom. All right? Any more? You got that in on that? Y'all wrong?
Yeah, that was it.
Now let's go to Psalm 10, and I believe about 9. That's pretty much it.
10 Psalms.
Psalm 10 and I forgot.
He lying waiting in secret as a lion.
Yeah. It's 10 and 8. So 10 verses 8 through 10.
10 and 8.
Yeah, 10 and 8 through 10.
Alright, Psalms 10 and 8. He sitteth in the lurking places of the villages.
It's talking about the wicked Esau. Go ahead.
In the secret places doth he murder the innocent.
So what does it mean he sitteth in the lurking places and in the secret places? Meaning he sits where niggas don't look. If you want, the saying is, if you don't want a nigga to know something, put it in a book or put it in writing. So niggas not gonna go and Google any type of legislation. They're not gonna type in HR 19 blah blah blah, 13 blah blah blah. Not gonna go on Google and type in anything this relevant. All right, they're gonna go and look at bullshit on the net if they even have a computer. So the scripture, not the scriptures. Another saying is the devil is in the details. All right. So when you put something in fine print or put something where nobody would look, for example, the chip being in page 1001 of Obama's healthcare bill. What nigga in his right mind do you know is gonna go look that up? Not one.
You're not gonna get past the first page.
Yeah, you get past the first. Oh, I don't know. But way at the back of the healthcare bill is the provision for a chip.
Like I said, that's why these companies get over on these customers when they do fucked up shit or something happens, because they know they put these elaborate terms and conditions to where that shit just hella long, and customers ain't gonna read that shit.
Right.
And so by the time something happen, they try to raise hell. Well, if you work for the company, they teach you to go and find that specific portion. You read it to the customer ain't got shit to say.
Yeah.
Because that's what I do. I actually do extended warranty. So the section where there's shit that's not covered, the customer ain't gonna read that because there's tons of pages. But for me, I know, like, yo, you complain about this, I'm gonna go right to the shit that was sent to you, that knowing you're not gonna read it.
You said
And I'm
lurking place?
Yeah. I'll be sharpening the shit out them motherfuckers. That's what I get paid to do, unfortunately. That's how I get my daily bread. But that's exactly what the brother's doing. That's how them companies make way with that.
Yep.
They make them big ass terms and conditions to where you're not gonna read that bullshit, man.
Yeah.
And they got your ass.
Also like on commercials, before we get back to the script, commercials they be like advertising or trying to sell something, and they be talking all blah 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 blah. Yeah, and then at the end of the commercial they be, what the fuck are you saying?
Yeah.
Alright, man, like, wow, alright, whatever, man. That's how Esau does it, It sitteth in a circuit place, in the lurking places, in the secret places, that he murder the innocent. Innocent represents Israel. Go ahead.
It says, yeah. His eyes are privily set against the poor.
Mm-hmm.
He lieth in wait secretly as a lion in his den.
Wait, it says his eyes are privily or privately set against the poor, and he sitteth as a lion in his den, waiting for who? To get Israel, to get the chosen people of the Most High. All right, that's why Esau. That's why according to the curses, which really it all goes back to the curses. We're always at the bottom. We're always getting the shit in the stick. We're always getting. You always see us jacked up in whether it be by the cops, whether it be by CPS with the kids. We're always linked into this system in a bad way.
Right.
It's never for our benefit. And even if it is for our benefit, we're still getting jacked up. We're still getting the shit into the stick. Everything is set up to destroy Israel at the end of the day. And this is just one more tool, which you just read, one more tool in which this is going to happen. All right? Finish that out.
He lieth in wait to catch the poor. He doth catch the poor when he draweth him into his net.
When he draweth him to his net, does not our people go to Esau for everything? When you watch a fly into the fly goes at the net. You know, a net doesn't actively go after a fly. When a spider sets a web up, the fly flies into the net and bam, gets caught. Here comes the spider, who knows the net that he sets up and can actually glide across the net without getting caught in his own web. That's Esau. Our people go it says, woe to them that go to Egypt for help. Woe means destruction. So our people go straight to Esau for all their help, not knowing that behind the scenes, under the fine print or in the fine print, the stuff that they're going to Esau for help for is destroying them.
Hey, you know what? Just like it says in Isaiah, that net is also talking about their philosophies. They also throw it out there to see who catches it.
Yeah, right.
They
Some
love it.
some of his lurking places are the courthouse, school system, the hospitals, the Planned Parenthood office that's on every corner in the Jake neighborhood.
We just want to help.
They don't actively go into the high school. I'm talking about Planned Parenthood and have abortions, you know, in class. They just sit there in that little office, and they just see they put that little idea in Jake's head. Well, you know, you don't have to have the baby.
Right.
And always come over here.
Yeah.
I ain't got no money. Oh, don't worry about it. We'll take care of it.
I got this next verse goes right into it.
Hold on real quick. Read what you got real quick and then we'll finish.
Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 15. Woe unto him that giveth his neighbor drink, that putteth thy bottle to him, and makest him drunken also, that thou mayest look on their nakedness.
Right. What is the drinks talking about? Like the brother just said, philosophies and ways of living. When his neighbor, when it says to put his bottle to him to get him drunk, basically to see his nakedness, that means when we're naked, we're out the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of the Bible.
Right.
So when you get caught up in another philosophy or doctrine, that means you're naked. All right? It means you've been stripped of your garments, like the scriptures say in Isaiah 52.
Yeah, put on that.
You put on beautiful garments. You've been stripped of your garments, and now you put on some goddamn, I don't know, a tall tee or some shit.
Yeah, you got a covering out of the Most High.
A covering, but not of the Most High.
Tracksuit.
Yeah, tracksuit, you know? So that's why it said, what it says, read that again.
Habakkuk 2 and 15. Woe to him that giveth his neighbor drink, that putteth thy bottle to him, and makest him drunken also, that thou mayest look on their nakedness.
That's why the Esau sets up the society to have us go off, and then they look at us in our state of being out of sync, basically, for lack of a better way to put it, with the Most High. And then they actually go to the Most High on the left hand and say, look at these people. Look what they're doing. They're eating pork. They're wearing all kind of crazy ass garments. They're committing adultery. They're stealing. They're lying. They're smoking weed. Doing all kind of crazy shit. Right? But guess what? Guess who set the society up for us to go off? Esau.
That's why the Most High say he's mad with the wicked all day.
I got did he finish that?
Yeah, that's pretty much the
Go
point.
ahead, and
We're
then,
pretty
and then go to Psalms.
Alright, Jeremiah 50:7. All that found them had devoured them, and their adversaries said, we offend not, because they have sinned against the Lord, the habitation of justice, even the Lord, the hope of their fathers.
Yep, so I mean, technically they're right because we are going off, but guess what? They set the society up for us to go off. That's why it says all they that found them say that basically, read it again, bro. Was it 57?
Yeah, Jeremiah.
That's why I say he in lurking places, man.
Hmm? He's a
Yes.
sneaky bastard. Go ahead.
Jeremiah 50:7.
Yeah.
All that found them have devoured them,
Mhm.
and their adversaries said, we offend not, because they have sinned against the Lord.
Right, that's the point. Our adversary Esau, who's our main adversary right now, along with the other nations, say we offend not because they sin against the Lord. But you're the one that set us up to go off. Alright? That's why it says in Proverbs that the way of the wicked seduces the righteous. Loosely paraphrasing. Alright? So now finish off that last verse in Psalms, and that's pretty much it.
So Psalms 10 and what?
10:10.
10, yeah.
Alright. Psalms 10 and 10. He croucheth and humbleth himself, that the poor may fall by his strong ones.
Right, it says he crouches and humbleth himself, like they were saying earlier, the brother was saying earlier, we're just here to help.
Yeah.
We just want you to be better. You don't gotta have that baby so you can live the rest of your life. You can go to college and get a career.
You got options.
You have options.
That's like that Ric Flair. I don't know if y'all used to watch wrestling with Ric Flair. He on his knees praying and begging and pleading for you to not fuck him up. Next thing you know, he got brass knuckles to your crotch.
Yeah, nut shot.
You know what I'm saying? Hit you in the nuts with some brass knuckles.
Not even your face, but he goes for your family jewels, man.
Yeah.
He hits you in the worst place to be hit as being a man.
Yep. Then he hits you, then he get up and stand over you. Woo!
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
the
he got
Edomite
dance
folks,
for you
man.
and everything.
Yeah.
And celebrates his deceitfulness, man.
Yep. That's how he says that in Sirach. He'll stand up in that place and boast over you once he gets your spot.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So,
How long has Esau been talking about war on drugs?
right. It's never ending war on drugs.
How long is Ronald Reagan up there talking about dare to say no? But he the same one bringing the drugs
They
here.
fly and float the shit in
Yeah,
here.
niggas don't own no boats, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's funny that they put that in that movie, Boys in the Hood. You know, ain't nobody gonna take that shit serious. But it's true. Niggas, we ain't the ones flying and floating that shit in here.
Nigga can't grow a tomato, let alone plants and you know what I'm saying, crops
Right.
of weed to
Opium.
sell, and opium.
To have a steady
Coca
business
leaf.
of that shit going on.
Yeah.
You know a nigga can't keep
Niggas ain't
nothing.
that diligent, man.
No.
That's why I said they gotta wait on the white man.
Yeah.
They gotta wait on the white man to get what he trying to sell.
Yeah.
Well, the problem is, niggas are diligent about wickedness, but niggas can't run shit. Niggas, that sooner or later, something's gonna fuck up and the operation gonna get got.
Baby mama get a trip and he
Yeah.
something small as fuck.
You know? So, that's pretty much been the lesson, Lord willing, some edification came out of it.
Right.
I want to say again, all praise and honor to the Most High and the Son, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the elders. Honors to you brothers out there bringing out the truth. And Lord willing, we get the hell out of here soon. So, until the next show, death to America and shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom.